What's up, you guys? It's your boy Mountain Dew, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 worst LEGO Star Wars sets of all time. Now, a bunch of you guys might disagree with me on these sets. Like, some of you guys might actually find these sets to be pretty good. Well, in my opinion, these sets are the worst of the worst. And now, this video is very opinion-based, so I might get a lot of hate from doing this video, but at the same time, it's just my personal opinion. So, without further ado, let's get on to number 10, shall we? So, for my number 10 spot, I have chosen the ATRT from 2013, 222 pieces for $20, which isn't bad, but the thing that ends up just killing the set for me is the Droideka. The Droideka is absolutely disgusting. First, getting this set and building it, I was really excited, but after I first saw the Droidekas, I was just absolutely disgusted how they act, how the creators of this build actually thought that yeah, that's a convincing looking Droideka, we should put this in the set. The minifigures are okay, I guess. I mean, you get a nice clone trooper with Yoda and a droid and all that, but the one other saving grace to the set that, you know, didn't let it get to even lower on the list is the fact that it's got a great build to it. The ATRT to the set looks absolutely stellar with that blue and gray color scheme. It may be a little bit inaccurate to episode 3, but it's the Clone Wars, so what do you expect? But despite that, I still think that it's an okay set, but obviously they could have done a lot better. My next choice on the list is the LEGO Duel on Naboo set from 2017. Now, the reason why I put this one on the list is that it's a duel on Naboo, right? But when you go back and you actually look at what the duel on Naboo is, there's just so much more to it, and instead of just like one round little platform with just 3 minifigures fighting on it. So, you know, I thought they could have done better. I thought they could have made this like a UCS set, just make it around the size of, I don't know, Assault on Hoth. Not really Assault on Hoth, but you get the idea. I've already done a LEGO Ideas video talking about what I thought they could have done with this set, but it's okay, I guess. The minifigures are pretty good. I'm not really that Obi-Wan minifigure, but I do like the new Qui-Gon Jinn minifigure. I felt like he's the saving grace to the set that didn't really make it any higher on the list, but that's the Duel on Naboo set for you. Next up on the list, I have chosen Jabba's Palace from 2012, and the reason why I say this is a bad set is not because of the minifigures. I think the minifigures are absolutely incredible, but the thing that ends up killing the set for me is the fact that it suffers the same problems as the Duel on Naboo set. There's just so much more to Jabba's Palace than just a big freaking opening on one side, and this set, it's overpriced as well. I mean, $120 for 717 pieces just didn't ring right in my head, and I kind of wish the set was more of a $90 set. That's just how the size of the set feels like to me. But if they really wanted to do $120, they could have at least covered up with the other side when you flip it around, but they didn't do that here, obviously. They just left a big opening, and that's just lazy to me. My next choice on the list, I've chosen the Republic Attack Shuttle from 2008, and the reason why I say this is a bad set is, I don't know what its price is, but just this set just looks incredibly ugly to me. Just like the gray with the dark red and yellow mixed in a shuttle just doesn't look right in my head, especially that top part, which isn't long enough to make it a shuttle. I feel like they could have made the top part at least a little bit longer to actually make it a good shuttle, but they didn't. And of course, it's a Clone Wars set, so minifigures are absolutely horrible. But that's it. I kind of wish that they make that top part a bit taller, but they just didn't for some reason, and that's how I feel about it. Next up on the list, I've chosen the Trade Federation MTT for 2000. And it's an old model, and that's why it's bad, honestly. I mean, just the different color scheme with the brown just doesn't work well for me. The droids are okay, I guess, but it's not really the minifigures, it's the build that we're focusing on here. And the build is just absolutely ugly, seeing all these weird, different colored squares mixing through there. I just felt like that I'm surprised that they even made this a set, because if they just waited 7 years with the 2007 MTT, and oh my goodness, that 2007 MTT is beautiful. I just felt like the MTTs will have just aged more well, and of course the 2014 MTT is very good. I know some people don't agree with me with that, but that's just how I feel about it. But I feel like this just throws the ATTs just completely down the crapper. So yeah, definitely avoid this set if you see it on eBay or something. Next up on the list I've chosen the brick-built Captain Phasma, and this minifigure is probably the worst to me of the buildable minifigures. I think almost all the buildable minifigures is bad, but I feel like if I just put through all of them on this list, I would have just been bashing out the brick-built minifigures. So I decided to choose Captain Phasma for this one, and I just looking at this thing is just absolutely ugly, especially considering that it's still not in chrome, just like the minifigure. It's also overpriced too. Only 82 pieces for $25 is pretty bad, but that's all I have to really say about it. It's just a bad set because it's a brick-built minifigure and it looks ugly. My next entry on the list might cause some controversy towards me, but that is the Snowspeeder UCS. Now, my big issue with the set is the fact that it's a big Snowspeeder, and its size is just very inaccurate. And for a $200 Snowspeeder, I just feel like $200 is just way too much for the Snowspeeder, and this thing is just way too big for a Snowspeeder, which it's just one of those signs proving that LEGO is just ran out of ideas for UCS sets, so they need to make big, ugly, and unnecessary and inaccurate UCS. This is one of my least favorite UCS sets, to be honest, just because of how inaccurate it is and size, that it just makes absolutely no sense. Why would you make something like a UCS Snowspeeder that doesn't need to be any bigger than how it originally is, but leave out other UCS sets like an ATA-CT that could definitely use a bit bigger and more accurate size to it, especially considering that's how it shows in the Star Wars dictionary. Next up on the list, I've chosen the Death Star Troopers Battle Pack with obviously the Death Star Troopers and the Imperial Guards. Now, before this battle pack, Imperial Guards were absolutely awesome. They weren't something that you need like a dozen of, and they came out in rare sets, and they were just so cool. The fact that they used the cool staff pieces, and they didn't use those ugly different darker colored arms were cool. But unfortunately, this battle pack came around and just totally ruined how ugly the Imperial Guards are. I still remember getting this battle pack at Kmart years ago and just absolutely being disgusted by the new Imperial Guards. So that's the Death Star Troopers battle pack in a nutshell for you. Let's move on to number 2, which is Starman Lincoln, when I'm going to start getting really ranty. Next up on the list, I've chosen the 7.5/2/16 Snooks Throne Room. Now, this is a set that has just gotten released, right? 2018. However, this set was just a big, huge disappointment, because after hearing the $70/$60 price point, we all thought it was going to be like this big, awesome, massive set, just like how it looks like in the movie. But unfortunately, after seeing how much pieces it has now, just looking at these absolutely ugly pictures, I think all of us are just sorely disappointed. The set doesn't really offer that much hold to it. It should look, the sides, the little red things on the sides, on the bottom, look absolutely ugly and disgusting. You could take Snoke's chair off, which it doesn't in the movie. It only has 2 Praetorian Guards, unlike the movie, where it has 8. And it's just a real shame that they just totally dropped the barrel on this one. That like, why would someone out there like anticipate something towards everyone, but then all of a sudden they give it to them and then they just get a huge glimpse of disappointment? Why would you do that? They haven't bothered to like upgrade Sunoco, given the new facial expression or anything like that, which is a shame because that's a minifigure that could use more than one facial expression, and you can't do that with just one minifigure because he's bald and it would be too obvious to see the other side of his head with another face on it. Just a very piss poor Lego set, and it's just a bum of a set, and I just wish they made this thing bigger and better, and maybe bring it to $10 more, $20 more, but just this is unacceptable and just trash to me, and it's just a huge ripoff. So without further ado, let's take a look at what is the absolute worst Lego set of Star Wars ever. Here it is, the worst Lego Star Wars set of all 10 out there. The 75220 Sandcrawler from 2018. This set, I just think is just absolutely trash, you know. After hearing just all the rumors with the set saying that's going to be slightly bigger than the UCS set, and God, that 2015 UCS set is an absolute beauty, you know. Lego did such a good job on the 2015 UCS set, and they really threw that down the crapper with this just ugly, not really ugly, but just inaccurate, way too small of a set. It's just, I just think that this is just such a bad set. I'm surprised this was even a set. I guess the minifigures are not bad, but they obviously could have gotten some more better minifigures, and I just wish that they didn't have to make this set at all. It's a real shame that they could have done something so much better, like Luke's home with Aunt Beru, Uncle Owen, but instead they just had to remake another the Sandcrawler once again that didn't need to be remade in the first place, because we only need one Sandcrawler. We don't need another one that's smaller and inaccurate. I just don't know. I just think this is such a bad set that but no more looking at the set. Forget it all. This is in my opinion the worst Lego set out there. But what is your guys' least favorite Lego Star Wars set out there? Again, a lot of you guys might disagree with me on this list, but it's just my opinion. What's your least favorite set out there? Was there a set on this list that you actually enjoyed? Do you agree with me? Let me know that in the comment section down below. And without further ado, guys, I guess I might as well see you in the next video. Bye!